Sincerity is not something you take away when it's convenient, according to the Stoic way of thought. It shines light on every aspect of your life, serving as a beacon. It's about speaking truthfully, living with purpose, and maintaining integrity in the face of adversity. Why is it such a big deal? Imagine, therefore, if you were always masking your genuine identity and ambitions behind a facade of pretending. How do you create friendships this genuine and meaningful? You feel alone and confused as respect vanishes and trust breaks down. But things change when you accept honesty as your compass. Clear and honest communication develops, respect grows, trust grows, and all of a sudden the deep relationships you've been longing for begin to sprout up all around you. Of course, it's not always simple to live a life of steadfast honesty. There will be moments when it's easy to choose the easy route or distort the facts. But keep in mind that those are the times when the Stoic ideals really come to light. A life of sincerity, trust, and real connection is something much more priceless than any fleeting gain, and it can be built by adhering to your principles and choosing integrity over convenient falsehoods. Thus, the task at hand is to accept honesty as your compass. Begin with little, pay attention to what you say and do, and see how your relationships change. Recall that it is a journey rather than a destination. Thus, practice self-compassion and acknowledge each accomplishment as it comes. Being truthful goes beyond just abstaining from lying in Stoicism. It's a basic dedication to portraying reality as it is. This goes beyond just working. It includes living an honest and open life. Therefore, a Stoic makes an effort to match their deeds and words with the fundamental principles that guide their life. This commitment to veracity is essential in forming a Stoic's personality. They develop inner integrity, a moral compass that transcends situational ethics by continuously living authentic lives. This dedication is unaffected by other influences or any repercussions. It is a fundamental aspect of who they are and will not waver in the face of difficulty. In Stoic philosophy, trust is a valuable resource that is closely related to honesty. This trust is broken by dishonesty, which erodes relationships and threatens the harmony that Stoics strive for. They know it's difficult to regain trust after it's been betrayed. As a result, they approach every encounter with a dedication to truth that transcends wins and defeats right away. Trust is essential to the Stoic pursuit of eudaimonia, or thriving. A Stoic cultivates trust in others and in themselves by always acting with honesty and integrity. This trust serves as the cornerstone for deep connections, enabling people to create a life full of sincere bonds and long-lasting well-being. Honesty is more than just a strand sewn within the colorful, intricate web of a Stoic existence. It's the weft and warp, the fundamental elements that support the complete tapestry. It's a sober acknowledgement of the fine balance that must be maintained between respect, trust, and a thriving community. The delicate ties of harmony and trust that Stoics so strongly cherish may be shattered by the stain of dishonesty, just as a single rip in a tapestry can reveal its exquisite beauty. Consider dishonesty as a renegade needle that is whispering falsehoods and manipulating the fabric of the world. It replaces the honest-to-goodness picture with a distorted representation of reality, distorting it. This betrayal of the truth has an adverse effect on relationships and undermines the fundamental foundations of a moral society. However, when handled with Stoicism, honesty becomes a precious thread that gleams with genuineness. It ties people together, creating the complex webs of trust necessary for sincere communication and mutual growth. This dedication to the truth is more than just a matter of morality. In the vast arena of human interaction, it's a tactical move. The secret to a peaceful society where people deal with life's challenges with open hearts and clear minds is honesty. But the wild beast of impulsivity lurks in the shadows of this Stoic tapestry. Its wild, fast motions carry the risk of ripping apart the finely knit fabric of reason and restraint. Behaving carelessly, motivated by whimsical emotions or cravings, is like snatching the tapestry and running the possibility of ruinous tears. But do not be alarmed. The Stoics have given us a well-stocked toolkit to help us subdue this beast. In the same way that a weaver chooses and works with threads to create elaborate patterns, we may develop routines that fortify our adherence to logic and truth. Being self-aware helps you become the weaver at your own loom, closely monitoring your feelings and thoughts to identify the moments before they become explosive. Take a minute to stand back, inhale, and evaluate the issue with a clear head before acting without first pausing for reason. Ignore the seductive call of instant satisfaction and give in to the pull of suspense. Savor the excitement and develop the patience to wait for the intricate design to come together, one thoughtful thread at a time. Train your attention to be in the present moment, like a master weaver responding to the complex dance of threads. By practicing mindfulness, the steady hand, the power of impulsive desires lessens as your awareness increases. You fortify the warp and weft of your Stoic tapestry by incorporating these routines throughout your everyday existence. Respect blossoms, trust grows, and the vivid hues of real connection emerge. Recall that achieving a life based on integrity and logic is a lifetime endeavor. Accept the difficulties, rejoice in the successes, and remember that every step you take in this direction adds strength to the exquisite fabric of your true self. We'll look at particular Stoic methods for reining in your impulses and strengthening your will to live honorably in the next tapestry panel. There is yet much to discover in the complex and fascinating field of Stoic philosophy, so stay tuned, my buddy. Picture a magnificent tapestry where decency, restraint, and reason are interwoven. This colorful piece of art perfectly captures the Stoic ideal of a life well lived. However, within the neatly twisted strands is a savage beast: impulsivity. Its wild motions might cause confusion and disappointment by unraveling the complex design. The idea of slow, conscientious judgment is central to Stoic ideas. Every choice you make and every action you do should be well considered, consistent with your basic principles, and like a thread in a tapestry. Conversely, impulsivity is a hurried brushstroke, applied in the moment without consideration for the overall harmony of the fabric. According to Stoics, reason is the mind's charioteer, controlling impulse. Giving in to impulsivity is like to giving up control and allowing the wild horse to go amok. We stray from the straight and narrow in favor of rationality and morality as puppets of transient appetites and outside forces. According to the Stoic viewpoint, controlling our urges is the key to true freedom. It's about developing a methodical process for making decisions, whereby stable values, not whimsy, direct our behavior. This is not about getting rid of feelings completely. Rather, it's about using them to carry us ahead in a path that makes sense, much like the wind in a sail. Those who struggle with impulsivity often find it difficult to trust and respect others, which are essential in the Stoic community. In stable, predictable contexts with people acting and believing in the same ways, trust grows. With its unpredictable quality, impulsivity is like a loose thread in a tapestry that may tear apart the fragile trust that individuals have constructed between them. However, the Stoic way provides methods to tame the wild horse of impulsivity, just as an expert weaver slowly mends ripped threads. Here are several essential strands to include into your own inner fabric. Self-awareness. Learn to weave your own thoughts with observation, recognizing the circumstances that set off impulsive desires. The rational pause. Take a deep breath, stand back, and visualize holding back the wave of emotion so you can give yourself time to evaluate the issue with a cool, collected head before the impetuous beast attacks. Develop mindfulness by training your attention to be in the here and now, much like a weaver observing the dance of threads with attention. By incorporating these routines throughout your life, you build true connections, respect, and trust, strengthening the foundation of your Stoic tapestry. Recall that controlling the impetuous beast is a process rather than an end goal. You weave a life filled with insight and purpose with every thoughtful moment spent in reflection and decision-making. When it comes to Stoicism, impulsivity is a major hindrance to leading a life of integrity. Its erratic behavior poses a challenge to the well-built webs of morality, restraint, and reason. But do not be alarmed. The Stoics have given us a well-stocked toolkit to help us subdue this beast. In the same way that a weaver chooses and works with threads to create elaborate patterns, we may develop routines that fortify our adherence to logic and truth. Being self-aware helps you become the weaver at your own loom, closely monitoring your feelings and thoughts to identify the moments before they become explosive. The pause of reason is the time to take a step back, catch your breath, and evaluate the issue with reason before the needle of action pierces the tapestry. Think about the possible repercussions for both you and other people. Ignore the seductive call of instant satisfaction and give in to the pull of suspense. Taste the suspense and learn to wait for one thoughtful thread at a time. As the tapestry slowly comes together, train your attention to be in the present moment, like a master weaver responding to the complex dance of threads. By practicing mindfulness, the steady hand, The power of impulsive desires lessens as your awareness increases. You fortify the warp and weft of your Stoic tapestry by incorporating these routines throughout your everyday existence. Respect blossoms, trust grows, and the vivid hues of real connection emerge. Recall that achieving a life based on integrity and logic is a lifetime endeavor. Accept the difficulties, rejoice in the successes, and remember that every step you take in this direction adds strength to the exquisite fabric of your true self. We'll look at particular Stoic methods for reining in your impulses and strengthening your will to live honorably in the next tapestry panel. There is yet much to discover in the complex and fascinating field of Stoic philosophy, so stay tuned, my buddy. Picture a magnificent tapestry where decency, restraint, and reason are interwoven. This colorful piece of art perfectly captures the Stoic ideal of a life well lived. However, within the neatly twisted strands is a savage beast: impulsivity. Its uncontrolled nature poses a challenge to the complex design, resulting in disarray and disillusionment. The idea of slow, conscientious judgment is central to Stoic ideas. Every choice you make and every action you do should be well considered, consistent with your basic principles, and like a thread in a tapestry. Conversely, impulsivity is a hurried brushstroke, applied in the moment without consideration for the overall harmony of the fabric. According to Stoics, reason is the mind's charioteer, controlling impulse. Giving in to impulsivity is like to giving up control and allowing the wild horse to go amok. We stray from the straight and narrow in favor of rationality and morality as puppets of transient appetites and outside forces. According to the Stoic viewpoint, controlling our urges is the key to true freedom. It's about developing a methodical process for making decisions, one in which stable values, not whimsy, direct our behavior. This is not about getting rid of feelings completely. Rather, it's about using them to carry us ahead in a path that makes sense, much like the wind in a sail. Gaining the respect and trust that are essential in the Stoic community may be difficult for those who struggle with impulsivity. In stable, predictable contexts with people acting and believing in the same ways, trust grows. With its unpredictable quality, impulsivity is like a loose thread in a tapestry that may tear apart the fragile trust that individuals have constructed between them. However, the Stoic way provides methods to tame the wild horse of impulsivity, just as an expert weaver slowly mends ripped threads. Here are several essential strands to include into your own inner fabric. Self-awareness. Learn to weave your own thoughts with observation, recognizing the circumstances that set off impulsive desires. The rational pause, take a deep breath, move back from the immediate rush, and evaluate the situation with a cool, collected head before the horse flees. The steady hand of mindfulness is to practice being fully present in the moment, much like a weaver observing the movement of threads. Impulsive responses are less powerful when there is a grounded awareness. Long-term goal: develop endurance and the capacity to postpone satisfaction. Consider the finished, exquisite tapestry and make decisions, rather than focusing just on fleeting thrills that add to its harmonious design. Recall that controlling your impulsivity takes time and effort. It is not a fast cure. You strengthen the strands of integrity and reason in your Stoic tapestry with every regulated decision and conscious awareness. You will feel more liberated, connected to others on a deeper level, and filled with the joyful fulfillment of living a life woven with knowledge and purpose as the wild horse develops into a reliable companion. Picture a strong bridge tying you and other people together in a web of mutual respect and trust. Stoicism instructs us to construct this bridge gradually, under the direction of reason and restraint. However, impulsivity, the untamed beast that has the capacity to ruin our relationships, is hiding amid the well-set stones. Dependability and reliability are fundamental components of trust. People who behave consistently and whose deeds reflect their statements and ideals are people we can trust. However, impulsivity throws a curveball into this calculation. Behavior becomes irregular and unpredictable, without a firm compass and more akin to a ship battered by unexpected storms. The basic basis of trust is undermined by this irregular conduct, which makes it harder for others to trust us or our dedication to common ideals. Thoughtful conduct is the foundation upon which respect grows. People respect us when we exhibit discernment, caution, and a commitment to moral behavior. However, impulsivity chokes out these qualities and leaves behind a barren expanse of uncertainty in this garden, just as a weed does. When our behaviors seem to be motivated more by impulsive impulses than by well-considered ideals, how can we persuade others of our ability to reason and make wise decisions? Stoicism views impulsivity as a deer traveling towards self-mastery. It's a break from the principles of wisdom and stability, which are the pillars of a life based on mutual respect and trust. We may tame the impulsive beast inside us by adopting reasonable and self-controlling acts that are consistent with our basic beliefs and foster connections. This route results in meaningful relationships that are powered by conscious, moral decision-making, as well as personal flourishing. The following 3 essential behaviors may be included into your own Stoic lifestyle. Self-awareness. Learn to watch your own thoughts and recognize the circumstances that give rise to impulsive desires. The rational pause, take a deep breath, stand back, and imagine holding back the rush of emotion, allowing yourself time to evaluate the situation with a cool, collected head before the impetuous beast attacks. Long-range outlook. Develop patience and see beyond the momentary thrill. Think about the connections and bridge you are creating, and make decisions that will add to their enduring beauty and strength. Recall that controlling the impetuous beast is a process rather than an end goal. Every intentional decision you make and every attentive pause you take helps to strengthen the bonds of mutual respect and trust. Thus, proceed cautiously, according to the Stoic values of self-control and reason, and see how your relationships flourish on the firm basis of deliberate, morally sound behavior. Visualize a colorful tapestry made of strands representing each person's potential and understanding of one another. The Stoic ideal of a peaceful society, in which the interwoven lives of individuals form a robust and beautiful whole, is embodied in this tapestry. However, a rip, a patch, and a danger to the integrity of the tapestry hide amid these threads. Selfishness, a disruptive force at odds with Stoic ideals. People who constantly put their personal interests ahead of the welfare of others find it difficult to gain the respect and confidence of others. This age-old concept, when understood within the Stoic framework, holds that real care for the welfare of all people, rather than individual accomplishments, is the source of true goodness. Stoicism, which has its roots in the ideas of Zeno and Seneca, sees each person as an essential part of the larger social fabric. It challenges us to embrace a feeling of responsibility for the welfare of others and broaden our sphere of care beyond our own comfort. Selfishness contrasts sharply with this mentality by its very nature. It's a thread tearing apart the fabric, prioritizing individual needs above the good of the group. However, the Stoic conception of virtue includes a dedication to societal duty in addition to personal greatness. It's about appreciating each person's intrinsic worth and making a concerted effort to improve the community. We may include the following elements into our own life to help us grow toward this Stoic ideal. Develop expansive empathy by forcing your thoughts to go outside of yourself and actively consider the needs and viewpoints of others. Seek chances to empathize with their pleasures and tribulations in order to build a bond of humanity. Justice and fairness. Take up the cause of a society in which everyone has the opportunity to prosper. Even if an injustice doesn't directly touch you, speak out against it and work to create a system that treats everyone fairly. Participatory involvement. Realize that every action you do, no matter how little, affects the overall well-being. Give back to the community by volunteering your time, talents, and resources to create a network of cooperation and support. We deepen the ties that bind us by tying together these strands of justice, empathy, service, and concern for the larger good. By actively contributing to the weaving of a harmonious and interwoven tapestry, we respect the authentic essence of Stoicism. Recall that living a life committed to the welfare of others is a lifetime endeavor. Accept the difficulties, rejoice in the successes, and remember that every step you take in this direction adds strength to the exquisite fabric of a Stoic existence. Live for the benefit of everyone, not just yourself. A philosophy known as Stoicism places a strong emphasis on leading a life guided by virtue and reason. It instructs us to aim for consistency in our deeds and to have empathy and understanding for other people. One may consider inconsistency to be a departure from the Stoic path. We demonstrate that we are not devoted to our ideals when we behave inconsistently. Others may start to doubt our sincerity as a result, and they may stop respecting us. According to Stoic philosophy, genuine virtue is something we must develop by effort rather than something we are born with. To ensure that our behaviors are consistent with our beliefs, we must be prepared to put in a lot of effort. Another essential Stoic quality is empathy. We are able to comprehend and experience other people's emotions when we possess empathy. As a result, we are able to establish stronger connections with them and fruitful partnerships. We are all related to one another and a member of the same human family. According to the Stoic perspective, we effectively declare that we don't care about other people's pain when we lack empathy. Living a moral life and forming connections with others may become challenging as a result. Within the Stoic community, showing appreciation is considered a violation of the principles of the philosophy. Expressing thankfulness is a virtue that strengthens the bonds between people and goes beyond simple social graces. People who fail to recognize the generosity and assistance of others endanger the respect and trust that Stoicism holds so dear, which hinders the growth of the society. Because Stoicism is based on the principles of morality, knowledge, and understanding amongst people, it requires unshakable constancy. In a philosophy that places a high value on adherence to reason and moral behavior, consistency becomes an extremely important virtue. A principled existence is what Stoicism promotes, and those who stray from their beliefs without a good reason may find it difficult to gain the respect and trust of others in this context. Stoic consistency reinforces the stability required for meaningful and lasting relationships by harmonizing with the philosophy's dedication to live according to reason. Since consistency is a virtue and a commitment to live in accordance with one's stated ideals, Stoicism puts a high weight on cultivating virtues and adhering to reasoned principles. People who live by principles and are constant in their behavior have a dependability that builds trust. On the other hand, inconsistent behavior begs the issue of how deeply and sincerely someone is committed to Stoic principles. One of the most important commodities in Stoicism is trust, which is closely related to how stable one believes someone to be. It may be difficult for someone who wavers in their beliefs or behavior to maintain the trust that is important to the Stoic philosophy. Remember to hit the subscribe button down below to ensure you don't miss any upcoming Stoicism-related talks or shares. We are eager to have you join our community.